Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we are looking at the SH Figuarts Son Goku GT, an adorable little figure in one of these adorable little SH Figuarts boxes. So every once in a while when they do these sort of smaller figures or smaller releases, or for whatever reason, we get these smaller boxes, and they're quite small. But it's appropriate. I mean, it's a small character. You know, this is Goku shrunken down to a child. So this is Goku in a box, you know, shrunken down appropriately, I suppose. I'm very excited about this figure. I love Dragon Ball GT. I've said it before. I sort of say it all the time. The Dragon Ball GT was the Dragon Ball that was on in Japan when I went to Japan. So it holds a place in my heart that maybe, you know, I think I love it more than I should based on the objective quality of Dragon Ball GT. But regardless of that, you'll never change my mind. Dragon Ball GT is great. It's fun. It may not be for everyone. It may not be to everyone's taste, but you have to admit that some of the character designs, costume-wise and things like that, are just really, really fun. Really colorful characters, really colorful designs. And I'm excited that SH Figuarts is doing more of the GT figures. So we got the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. We're getting the kind of kid version of Goku, Trunks, Pan, Super Android 17. I'm here for it. I want there's still more characters from GT that I hope that we see. So I'm very, very excited to get this guy. Anyways, let's take a look at the packaging. As I said, it is one of these smaller SH Figuarts boxes, which tend to be associated with either, you know, smaller release characters. They tend to be a little bit less expensive as well. I think there was a Naruto that they did in one of these smaller boxes. There was a Bulma that came in one of these smaller boxes. I think I have one more, maybe two more figures that came in one of these smaller boxes, but I can't remember. But they still, you know, look and feel and function the same as the rest of the SH Figuarts boxes. So you got the nice big window box, Son Goku GT on the side there. On the other side, you get the photography. You still get the little sort of reflective Tamashii Nations decal on there. It's not at the bottom where it normally is. It's a little bit higher up, but you get sort of all the stuff that we normally get. Details called out on the side. One interesting thing, and I didn't realize this, it's calling out details for like the Kamehameha. I didn't realize it came with a Kamehameha. I didn't really care. I mean, I was happy to just get a basic figure at a pretty decent price point. So I'm happy that it does come with that. This is the North American release, so it's got this big ugly decal on it. But you get the figure there and some call outs to more of the details on the back. A bunch of Japanese stuff on there. On the bottom, the yellow Son Goku GT. It's more of a gold, so we'll see if all the GT stuff is that same color. SH Figuarts has a nice way of color coordinating, you know, different properties, different sublines within the SH Figuarts line, so that you can relatively easily identify which of the cartoons they're from. This one, of course, is from GT, as I've mentioned before. Just, you know, nothing terribly exciting about the packaging, but I think this figure is really going to be a fun little figure. So let's get this guy out of the box. Here he is out of the box, the most adorable Goku I've ever seen. I don't often do size comparisons, but in this case, I think it warranted it. There's Goku next to Goku, so that's, you know, the standard Goku in SH Figuarts, as well as the previous, or sort of the original Kid Goku from Dragon Ball, Now, this Kid Goku always felt too big. So this GT Goku feels perfect. I would love to see this guy get remade, you know, on this buck, like with this body, because this one feels too big. Now, you know, sitting on the Nimbus, I love this guy, still do, but he feels a little bit too big. So I hope that we get, you know, another version of this to sort of be a Kid Goku. This Goku is great, but, you know, you can see it's like he comes up to his waist. Like, this guy is tiny and adorable. For a little bit more comparison, here is the Krillin, the most recent Krillin. Here is the, what is this? The SDCC Gohan from last year. I feel like this is still a little bit too big. I feel like Krillin is pretty much the right size. Here is Pan. That was the other, I was trying to think of the other figure that I've gotten in one of those smaller boxes. I'm pretty sure Pan came in a smaller box. She still feels a little bit too big as well, you know, in comparison to this version of Goku. And then the tiniest figure of the bunch, the tiniest SH Figuarts figure that I think I own, Chaozu. There he is. So they look perfect together. They look good together. I love it. I love it. Absolutely adorable. Okay, so looking at this teeny tiny adorable GT Goku, articulation wise, he is a very small figure, so the articulation is a little bit different than what we typically see from SH Figuarts. There's a little bit less, but I would say that his articulation is pretty good despite the size. So he gets a 90-degree knee. There is articulation still in the toe. There is articulation in the ankle still, albeit not as much as we see in some other figures. The articulation in the hips is still pretty good. The elbow is a single jointed elbow, but it's on, you know, it's sculpted in such a way, and it's on this joint that allows for more than 90 degrees, which I think is probably sufficient. The hands are still on, you know, a ball joint, but the ball joint is a little smaller. Like the sculpt wise, you know, there's not quite as much room there, so you don't get quite the same amount of articulation that you do in some other figures. It's still there, and it rotates, and, you know, you get all the alternate hands, so you're gonna get all the poses that you need. There's still a good amount of articulation in terms of the butterfly joint, you know, and in terms of the way the arm works. It is very much an SH Figuarts shoulder, so you're gonna be able to hit most of the poses that I think you're probably used to, and I would suggest you're probably going to hit almost all the poses that Goku needs to. The head, you know, you get quite a lot of articulation in the neck. He can look up a little bit. He can look all the way down. So that's good. I mean, side to side, you know, the tilt is fantastic. So they've done a really good job with the amount of space that they've got there. He doesn't have the torso articulation, which, as I said, you know, I don't think that such a tiny figure needs all that articulation. I think he's definitely going to get into all the poses that you need him to. Man, I'm absolutely loving this figure. And then, you know, on top of that, there's a bunch of great accessories. So let's take a look at the accessories. Starting with the hands, we have quite a plethora of hands, as SH Figuarts is always quite good at. We have the big, sort of open, expressive hands. We have the less open martial arts hands. I don't know what to call any of these. These are probably there's probably like a specific name for some of these hands. These are the ones where it's sort of like 2 fingers are closed, 2 fingers are in that talon grip type of thing. Then we have the hands that are typically the energy blast hands, you know, like Kamehameha hands, if you want to call them that. You can call them whatever you want, doesn't really matter. As I mentioned when we were looking at the packaging, it comes with a Kamehameha. So we also get a set of the Kamehameha hands with the pegs on them, which is nice because if you're posing the figure, it makes it that much easier to pose if you've got a hand that will hold the Kamehameha. The Kamehameha itself has 4 beams that come off of it. Now, this is the first time I've seen this, which is, I'm not going to suggest that it's the first time they've done this, but it's the first time that I've seen it, where the energy beam bits are on like a ball joint and they plug in. So I'm used to seeing the energy blasts that are sort of keyed and they stick in and they're sort of static. But what this allows is for the energy to be posed effectively, which is really, really cool, because what that also means with such a small figure is that you can get the energy beams out of the way once you get it posed up, and you don't have to kind of fight with the positioning of the Kamehameha to get the look that you're going for, you know, pose wise. So that is pretty cool. I love when they have the effects in there, regardless of whether they're done that well. So that's just sort of an extra bonus. There is an alternate sort of skirt piece. This is a 2-piece thing. This one, I can't tell a huge difference from the one that comes on the figure. There's a little bit more sort of movement to it. There's a little bit more motion sort of suggested by this one, which makes sense because as far as an alternate head goes, we get sort of the action posed hair, this sort of the sort of wind-swept look as far as that goes. We get, of course, the you know, on the figure itself, we get the smiling Goku, which I think for this figure is probably going to be the one that I display it with. We get the stern-faced Goku. We get the teeth-gritting Goku. And in typical SH Figuarts fashion, we get the shouting, screaming Goku as well. So a nice nice selection there. You get a whole bunch of stuff. Now I will mention, because it is relevant, and it seems as though SH Figuarts is doing this more and more, there are other Goku parts being packed into other figures. So Goku, you know, is going to get bonus parts the more SH Figuarts Dragon Ball GT figures you kind of add to your collection. So I think Trunks comes with the tail, Pan comes with another face sculpt, I think, and Super Android 17 I think comes with another face and like the dragon sort of 2D stand-up effect piece. So if you're into GT and you're going to be buying these figures, you can kind of build out this Goku into like an ultimate Goku. But that being said, I think this version of Goku is a really, really good version of Goku. I don't think you would need anything more than what you get with this guy. So if you just want to get every version of Goku that they make, I think you'd be very, very pleased, and I think pleasantly surprised with this Goku. I am going to get this guy posed up and give my final thoughts. All right, so here is Dragon Ball GT Goku. So angry, but so adorable. I mean, look at him. He's got his Kamehameha, he's got his hair, and it's like, oh, but he's just so cute. He's just so tiny. I love this figure. I love this figure. And if the quality of this figure is any indication what we are going to get with the rest of the GT figures, I'm really, really excited. There's so much quality packed into this tiny, tiny little frame, and I can't wait to get the rest of them. Now, I grabbed this guy from eCollectibles.ca. I think Mike has still got more, so if you want to grab one of these, reach out to Mike and get one for yourself. I highly, highly recommend this. You know, as a Dragon Ball figure, as an SH Figuarts figure, I would strongly suggest that this is a really, really good figure and one that you're probably going to want in your collection. So go out and get one for yourself right now. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you don't want to miss future videos, hit the bell icon to get notifications. Until next time, bye-bye.